Hey, my name is Bernhard Lackner. I'm an Austrian electric bass player and composer living here in Nashville. Quickly about my background, I'm like from the Austrian Alps literally, and I grew up in a pretty musical family. My parents, they sing and are part of the church choir, traditional Austrian stuff. And my brother, he's a classical professional musician, so he really got me playing. First I played piano, which didn't work. It worked, but it wasn't that much of my thing. And then I went to classical guitar, which got closer, but I wanted to play like an electric instrument. So I picked up the bass after my brother, I think borrowed it from somebody for me. And so I immediately knew that's my instrument. I kind of was fascinated by the fact, I was listening to songs like more pop rock songs at that time, Toto, Simply Red, that kind of stuff. And I always was fascinated by the impact of the bass. The song starts without a bass, and then the bass comes in, and it kind of brings the whole thing up. And so that's kind of why I wanted to play bass at that time. And I ended up going to college for jazz, kind of like jazz studies, I guess you call it here, at the school called Anton Bruckner University, which is in Linz, an Austrian city. And went there for 5 years and got my degree. And then I was lucky to get a scholarship, and I could do basically whatever I want with this money. Either go to a school or choose a private instructor. They didn't really care. So I surfed the internet, like just to look, for who could I study with, what schools and the States, because I was always interested in coming over here. And so I found Adam Nitti by chance. I didn't know about him before. I kind of stumbled across his name on the internet, and so I went to his website and I was like blown away. I thought, okay, that's the guy I have to study with. And so I emailed Adam, and he was, kindly responded really fast, actually, like within a couple of minutes, and said, yeah, sure, it should work. So some time went by, and I contacted him again. At that time, Adam lived in Atlanta. So I flew to Atlanta to study with Adam just privately, for like a couple of months, and went back to Austria, and then I flew to Oakland, California to study with a bass player named Kai Eckert for a little while, and then went back to Austria again, and wanted to again study with Adam. And at that time, Adam lived in Nashville, so that's kind of how I ended up in Nashville. Didn't know anything about Nashville. Just came here because Adam, my teacher, was here. And so that was kind of, I think 5 years ago. I came here and was again taking my lessons with Adam, and started to compose already at that time, kind of instrumental music, instrumental jazz. And Adam helped me, with producing my songs. And so I released my first CD 4 years ago. It's called Those Days. And did some, commercial work out of Nashville as well, played for some artists, and started to, play those bass events. I went to Europe, to Canada, in the States to, Los Angeles, Atlanta. Starting doing those kind of bass clinics, getting some endorsements and that kind of stuff, and released my new record, actually my current record, a little bit over a year ago. It's called In Between, and currently I'm working on my third record, which I will release early 2011. I have some players from Nashville, some Los Angeles players, some European guys, and I'm also working on a book right now, which is basically done. It's gonna be released November 1 internationally. And all that stuff can be found on my website. It's bernhardlackner.com.